welcome to another YouTube video. If you're new here, my name is Charlotte and I'm a brand and website designer and I'm owner of the company Design Crumbs Studio. I'm sporting my merch for today's video. I thought I would talk about brand strategy today and why it's important and how it can guide your business. It's just going to be a short video. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with me sort of sitting talking at you for hours on end. So I've just sort of reduced it to the basics today, and then if this video proves helpful for anybody, perhaps I can expand on a couple of the ideas in future videos. So I'll just jump straight in. If I look down, I'm looking at my notes. We'll jump straight in with a mission statement. A mission statement is what you do, why you do it, and who you do it for. Or there's another way of doing it: what you do, how you do it, and who you're doing it for. My mission statement is to create thoughtful, timeless brand identities and websites that capture the stories of creative businesses. So I'm saying what I do, brand identity and websites, how I do it, or I should say, well, yeah, how, thoughtful and timeless. And who is it for? It's for creative businesses. So it's just a way of directing and guiding you. It kind of like brings you home, keeps you grounded as to what you do, how or why you do it, and who you're doing it for. Gosh, that was quick, wasn't it? I hope that's useful. Next, we move on to core values. These are the business values that drive your business. Say business again. And they're important because it reminds you of how you're conducting your business through your brand. So I'll give you some examples. My core values are intentional design, authentic connection, refined simplicity, creative joy, and trust and care. I realise trust and care are two, but I've bundled it into one. So I'll go through mine in a little more detail now. I'll read it out because that's the most clear way, rather than me babbling at you. It's easier for me to read it out, so it becomes a little bit more eloquent. So intentional design. Every detail matters. Each logo, colour and layout is created with purpose to tell a story, evoke a feeling, and reflect the heart of a brand. Excuse me for a sec, cough break. Sorry, done. Next. Authentic connection. Now, I feel like the word authentic is quite overused at the moment. I would like to replace that with perhaps genuine. But either way, it's true. It's not forced or false. It's true connection. And I've said here that I value building lasting relationships, understanding my clients, cheering them on, and supporting them long beyond launch day. This means not only as a business owner does it make sense for me to create these lasting relationships, because it means if my clients ever want anything down the line, they'll come back to me. I have the initial files, I have their story, I know what their mission is, I know what they want to accomplish, and I can help them do that because I created the foundations for them. So that makes sense from a business standpoint. But other than that, it's just lovely to make friends, isn't it? And when, like for example, I'm really lucky because I work with creative clients. I'd say putting aside the retainer that I obtained last year, 100% of my clients are creative, and it's just a joy to work with them because we're like-minded. So it's so easy to cheer them on and support them, whether it's an email to check in and see how they're doing, or on social media to message and like and comment. It's just second nature because they become like an extension of your friendship group. So that's important to me. That's how I want to do business. I don't want to be really formal and I was going to say professional. I'm still professional, but it turns friendly, and that's how I want to conduct my business. Okay, moving on to refined simplicity. I believe in the beauty of minimal, considered design, where simplicity feels sophisticated and every element has meaning. In that, I would also like to put something about having white space. I believe that design needs space and room to breathe. I don't like this cluttered, complex design that's going on at the moment, like this really bold sort of, I don't like it, it hurts my head. I like clean, timeless, delicate, just very pretty design. And that's what my clients tend to come to me for. I'm not saying I can't design in a different way. Of course I can. That's me as a designer, is that I can create to a brief. But I'm saying that's my belief for my brand is refined simplicity. Then we move on to creative joy. And I've written, design should feel exciting, inspiring, and full of possibility. And then I bring genuine enthusiasm to every project, celebrating my clients' journeys as much as their outcomes. And I think that's true. Whilst my design is kind of elevated and minimal and sophisticated, who I am as a person doesn't quite reflect that. And I am enthusiastic and I do get quite giddy. And if someone comes to me with a new idea and they're a little bit unsure about it, I will cheer them on. If it's what they want to do, oh sorry, musky whiff. If it's what they want to do and they just feel nervous, I will cheer them on. If it's someone who comes to me, this has happened a handful of times in the last couple of years. I've had clients who have been made redundant from their jobs and they've wanted to make a change. They don't want to go back into full-time, like 9 to 5 hamster wheel. They want something different for themselves and they want to turn a creative hobby into a business. And I'm all for that. People have come to me saying that they've been through loads of interviews and kind of application processes and they're not getting anywhere. So they've decided to make a change and kind of do something for themselves. And I am all in. I get so excited because it's kind of how I felt 15 years ago, was I wanted to do something for myself and create this business. So I love to cheer them on. All right, then we've moved on to trust and care, which is all one, trust and care. I've put, every collaboration is built on honesty, kindness and reliability, creating a supportive, calm experience that allows creativity to thrive. I'll just pick up on a couple of words there. Honesty. I run my business super transparently. There's nothing hidden. If there's a cost attached to something, I will be upfront and say, this will cost this much and you will receive this for it. If you can't afford it, we'll put in place a payment plan, or for the amount of budget that you have, I can offer this. It's always honest communication. And whilst I do not like talking about money, it makes me very uncomfortable, I will do so openly to make it easier for my client, because it is uncomfortable talking about money. But bringing it into the open and being honest about it is just going to make things much easier, and it builds trust both ways, being sort of genuine and open about it. I've also written about kindness. It's very important to me to be kind. I don't judge. There's nothing hidden. I just want you to thrive, and I will be kind in every step. Anything you come to me with, we'll talk about it and we'll get through it together. And I've put, creating a supportive, calm experience. That's what I want. I want it to be easy for you, from start to finish of a brand design or a website build. I know it's new. I know it's different. It can be really daunting, especially like with an expenditure of your money. It's important you're trusting me to build something special for you and your business and your future. So it's important to me that you trust me to do so. And I've been so lucky over these last 15 years. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that I'm trusted to do this for people, and I hope to continue to do it for a long time. So that's core values. And then we move on to like your ideal audience. So, excuse me, this is so you know who you're talking to. Like, I know that most of you will be creative business owners. So I know who I'm talking to. I know you are probably, let's read what I've written down here. You are probably a creative business owner or a content creator or some sort of indie brand. you will be launching, building or scaling personal branding, a handmade business, a boutique or a creative service. And I imagine you value authenticity, aesthetics and storytelling. And I imagine you want your brand to feel unique, special and reflective of who you are. So that's just a little bit about who I think I'm talking to as my audience, my ideal client. Then it sort of moves on to lifestyle and interests and habits and values that I think you find important in your life and business. And then I move on to struggles and pain points, because that's a way of me helping you overcome them with the services that I can offer for you. So I'll just talk really briefly about my ideal customer in the hopes that it will help build like a persona for your ideal customer. These are the kinds of things that you might want to think about when you're building yours. So for me, in the interests and lifestyles, I've put that my clients, my ideal clients, love design, aesthetics and visually inspiring content. Excuse me. I have put that they enjoy lifestyle media, handcrafted or bespoke products. I imagine that my client loves photography, home interiors, fashion and makeup. And I imagine their hobbies are creative and they love family outings and spending time with friends. I imagine that my ideal client engages in social media and loves Instagram and YouTube and Pinterest and perhaps TikTok, even though that's not what I'm into. I imagine my ideal client might be. And I imagine they are interested in creative and home communities and perhaps small business blogs. I'm so sorry, I've got like a really tickly cough and it's just really annoying. It's not like one of those satisfying hacking coughs. It's like this like pathetic little tickle that comes on. Okay, so let's move on to habits. And I guess this is sort of a bit lifestyle-y, but I've put that my ideal client, hold on, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to go get a drink, sorry. Hi, I'm so sorry, we are back. I have got my trusty Diet Coke, well, Coke Zero, and we're back, ready to go. Okay, so we got to habits, and I've put that my ideal client probably spends time researching online for like inspiration and trends and creative outlets. And they're probably regularly engaging in social media and online communities to sort of network and share and seek advice. And I've also put, now this is a big one, it's kind of like you're building assumptions. This is sort of who you assume that you are talking to and kind of building their persona around this. So I've written that my ideal client probably juggles multiple roles in her business, probably balancing product creation and marketing and social media, as well as perhaps family, home, motherhood, and also maybe employment. I've put struggles and pain points because, as I sort of touched upon earlier, I'm out of breath. I don't know why, I've just run up the stairs, but it's just running up the stairs. I should not be out of puff for this. Okay. I've put struggles and pain points because if I can identify what my clients might be finding difficult, I can work out which of my services might be able to help them overcome those problems. And that's really important because then that's how you market yourself through your business, your marketing materials or social media, is sort of accessing what your clients might be finding tricky and how you can help them fix it. So I've written that perhaps my clients might be feeling overwhelmed with branding decisions, and in which case I can help them because I have one brand package. I've narrowed it down, it's just one brand design package now. So there's no decision to be made really, it's that one package. Anything additional can be developed within time, and by then they will already have confidence in you. I say they, I mean perhaps you, but the client hopefully will already have confidence in me because I've already created their brand identity. and any decisions made moving forward, they're confident in me, in the branding I've created, the services I offer, my costs. So everything, then I should have instilled the confidence in them to make any further decisions really easy and effortless moving forward. That's my plan. Another struggle or pain point could be that my client perhaps finds it difficult to translate her vision, her story, or her personality into a cohesive brand identity. And again, I can help them. It's my job, and it's what I love to do as well. So using a brief, like a questionnaire, and perhaps any visual assets that they have gathered, perhaps on Pinterest, or any photographs they may have of branding, colours, type that they might like. That way, I can, if they get everything down from their heads onto the questionnaire, and all the questions that I ask on the questionnaire have a view to do this for them. I ask questions to sort of push a little bit so I can delve deeper into the strategy as well as the vision and the mission statement and the values, so that I can translate those into a design that feels truly theirs, because they've told me their story and I am retelling the story through design. I hope that makes sense. I've also written that perhaps they might feel that their website might feel disjointed or impersonal or tricky to navigate. And again, this is my job and it's what I adore doing. So if you trust me with your website project, excuse me, you can trust me to make it easy to navigate, to make it personal to you, to ensure your branding is scattered throughout the site, to make sure that the tone of voice is quite right if you ask me to help you with the content. All of these things, you're trusting me to help retell your story through design. I know I mentioned that in that last point, but it's so important that the trust is there. Okay, so then finally, I've just written how I can help my clients. So this is like an answer to the pain points. And I'm going through mine in so much detail because I think that it might be able to help you. It's all well and good people saying, oh, well, core values are things that are important to you and as a business, and a mission statement is what you do. But unless you hear someone else's, I feel like it doesn't give you context as to what kind, like how far into detail you go and what kind of things you can talk about. So I'll just go through how I can help my clients in answer to the pain points, and then hopefully it can help you focus and concentrate on those things on your creative business. So I've put that I create thoughtful and intentional brand identities to capture your story and personality. And I keep putting thoughtful and intentional in because it's not just like a whimsy off the cuff design. You know, someone comes to me and says, oh, I want a logo and it's got a flower in it, and I draw a flower. It doesn't work like that. If you say I'm interested in florals or botanicals or whatever, and I say, like, why, what's the meaning? For example, I have a client at the moment, and she is a content creator, and she does a lot of interiors, but she has an English country garden that she focuses on quite a lot, and she's got some beautiful roses in her garden. So she has said perhaps a rose would be a nice addition to the branding. Absolutely, there's a reason there. She adores roses. They feature throughout her content, so there's a link there between the brand identity with the illustration of a rose and visually what people can see when they go onto her Instagram page. So there's always a connection. It's never thoughtless or careless design. It's always intentional. There's always a purpose and a reason and a story. I design websites that are elegant, functional, and cohesive, making navigation super simple and intuitive. And this is important because when you go onto a website, you don't want to be searching around. You just want to find the information that you are looking for because it's easily labeled or clearly labeled and easy for you to navigate. I provide polished and refined branding and marketing materials, so it saves you time and stress. You're not trying to cobble together something on Canva. You come to me and I can design it for you. If you want templates, I can design templates on Canva, but they're not using assets of Canva. They will be designed using materials and elements that I have created. Excuse me. So we can of course use Canva so that it's a template and you can amend as necessary. For example, I have just created a suite of marketing flyers for a charity, and they wanted them so that they could manipulate them themselves. So I've done them on Canva, and I have locked certain areas so they don't have to worry about messing them up. I have kept placeholders so that they can just quickly insert the images, and text boxes so that they can overtype the lorem ipsum. So everything is really clean, clear and easy for them to make their changes. This is important. I have written that I make the design process supportive, enjoyable and collaborative, showing you the value of investing in your brand. It's not just investing in your brand though, is it? You're investing in me. You're trusting me to do that for you. So it's so important that I make the whole process fun and easy and exciting, because this is one of the most exciting things you'll ever do as a business owner, is kind of like launch your branding and your website. Like, what could be more exciting than that, other than your first launch of your business, of your product showcase? This is like the foundation of your branding, of your brand, of your business, and it is one of the most exciting steps you will ever take. And I'm so happy that I get to be a part of it. Finally, I have written that I can help you feel confident, proud and ready to connect with the right audience, reassuring you that the investment will indeed elevate your business. So the money and the time and the effort that you have spent getting your branding in place, building your website, it will work for you. You need to put effort and time and care into fostering and making sure that everything you do is cohesive and consistent, but you can do it, and it will pay off. Okay, so they're the basics. I have rambled at you for a lot longer than I planned on, and for that I'm apologising profusely, but hopefully the basics will help you move forward in your business. I realise I've just read mine out to you, but as I said, hopefully it puts it into context. If you have any questions about mission statements, core values or ideal personas, please do leave them in the comments down below and we'll have a little chat. But in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day, whatever you get up to, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.